The Battle of Sol raged across the solar system. It was the largest space conflict in galactic history. Coalition ships darted between larger hegemony vessels, using their superior speed and coordination to devastating effect. The quantum communicators allowed them to act as one force despite being spread throughout the system. Aboard the EDF Defiant, Captain Ryan Carter watched as the coalition closed in on the Hegemony Command dreadnought. Supreme Commander Kelthraz is trying to escape, Lisa Vega reported. A shuttle just launched from the lower bay. Ryan made a quick decision. Intercept that shuttle. I want Kelthraz captured, not killed. Sir, the dreadnought still has operational weapons, Lisa warned. Then we'll have to be quick. Prepare a boarding team. I'll lead it myself. Back at EDF Command, Kate coordinated the battle with cool precision. On her tactical display, hegemony ships were surrendering across the system as their communications failed and their shields collapsed. The Valerians have secured the Mars sector, Collins reported. The Arcturians have disabled the hegemony forces near Venus. And the command ship? Kate asked. Captain Carter is leading a boarding party. They're going after Kelthraz. Kate nodded. It was a risky move, but capturing the Supreme Commander could end the war instantly. Ryan led his team through the damaged corridors of the Hegemony flagship. Sparks fell from broken conduits as emergency lights cast red shadows. Most of the alien crew had surrendered or evacuated. The command deck is ahead, said Chief Garcia, checking her scanner. Life signs detected. They breached the command deck to find Supreme Commander Kelthraz cornered by his own officers. The massive alien stood nearly 8 feet tall, his ornate armor scratched from the battle. Your shuttle was intercepted, Ryan told him. There's nowhere to run. Kelthraz stared at the human captain with a mixture of rage and disbelief. How? How did primitives like you defeat the greatest fleet in the galaxy? You underestimated us, Ryan replied simply. You saw our biological limitations but missed our greatest strength. And what strength is that? The alien commander demanded. Adaptability. Determination. We took your technology and improved it. We found allies where you created enemies. While Ryan secured the command ship, Kate received word that hegemony vessels across the galaxy were standing down. The news of their Supreme Commander's defeat had spread rapidly. The Galactic Council is requesting an emergency session, an aide reported. They want Earth representatives to attend. 3 days later, Kate Murphy stood before the Galactic Council. The vast chamber held representatives from hundreds of worlds. Many looked at the human with newfound respect, others with fear. The hegemony has ruled through intimidation for 10,000 years, Kate told them. They mocked humanity as primitive, but we proved that innovation and cooperation are stronger than arrogance. A new interim council was formed, with Earth holding a prominent position. The Coalition of Free Worlds was officially recognized, giving member species autonomy from hegemony control. Supreme Commander Kelthraz was brought before Kate after the session. You have humbled the greatest power in the galaxy, he admitted. What happens now? Now we rebuild, Kate replied. Not as masters and subjects, but as equals. The coalition doesn't seek to replace the hegemony's tyranny with our own. 1 month later, Kate stood in her backyard in Colorado, looking up at the night sky. The stars no longer seemed distant and unreachable. Earth ships now traveled regularly between coalition worlds. Alien visitors walked openly in human cities, exchanging knowledge and culture. Admiral Simmons joined her, offering a cup of coffee. Hard to believe it's been only 6 years since they first arrived and mocked us. Kate smiled. They thought they were getting pets. Instead, they found equals. What's next for Lieutenant Commander Kate Murphy? Simmons asked. The President wants to promote you to Admiral. Kate took a sip of her coffee, eyes still on the stars. I'm thinking bigger. The coalition needs leadership that understands both human determination and alien perspectives. As shooting stars streaked across the sky, actually coalition ships on patrol, Kate felt a sense of pride. Humanity had been mocked by the galaxy until Earth's fleet shattered their pride. And in doing so, they had created something better than what came before, a galaxy of equals, bound together by mutual respect rather than fear. No sign of the human fleet near Neptune, reported a hegemony officer. They are hiding, Kelthraz replied with disdain. Spread out and find them. I want this rebellion crushed today. The hegemony ships dispersed throughout the solar system, each group hunting for Earth's vessels. They found nothing. In the command center, Kate watched the alien fleet separate into smaller groups. They're doing exactly what we predicted. Begin Operation Checkmate. The coalition fleet, still hidden near Jupiter, received the signal. Each captain acknowledged the countdown. All ships, prepare for quantum jump, Ryan ordered aboard the Defiant. Remember your targets. 5 seconds to synchronization. Across the solar system, the scattered hegemony ships continued their search, unaware of the trap closing around them. 3, 2, 1. Execute jump, Ryan commanded. In a perfect demonstration of coordination, all 50 coalition ships vanished simultaneously. They reappeared in precise positions, completely surrounding the hegemony command ship. On the Dreadnought's bridge, Supreme Commander Kelthraz stared in disbelief at his tactical display. Impossible. How did they? His words were cut short as the coalition ships opened fire. The Defiant led the attack, its weapons targeting the Dreadnought's main communications array. The humans have allies. Kelthraz rage. Signal the fleet to return immediately. But the quantum communicator had been destroyed in the first volley. The hegemony command ship was isolated. Throughout the solar system, coalition ships appeared in small groups, ambushing the separated hegemony vessels before they could regroup. Shield disruptors at full power, Ryan ordered. Target their main defensive grid. The revolutionary human weapon fired, sending a pulse of energy that matched the exact frequency of the hegemony shields. The supposedly impenetrable defenses of the alien flagship flickered and failed. Shields are down, Lisa Vega reported with amazement. It worked. On Earth, Kate allowed herself a brief moment of satisfaction before continuing to coordinate the complex battle. The quantum communicators gave the coalition perfect awareness of every engagement across the solar system. Group 3 reports success at Venus. Major Collins announced. 5 hegemony cruisers disabled. Group 7 has taken casualties near Mars but continues to hold position, reported another officer. The Valerian ships smashed through the now vulnerable hegemony vessels with brutal efficiency. The Nerodians, having finally joined the coalition at the last moment, used their advanced technology to disable rather than destroy enemy ships. Supreme Commander Kelthraz watched in growing horror as his grand fleet was systematically taken apart by forces he had dismissed as primitive. Prepare my escape shuttle, he ordered. The battle is lost. As the hegemony forces began to crumble, Kate gave her final command. All ships, converge on the command dreadnought. This ends today. The combined coalition fleet gathered in the shadow of Jupiter. Nearly 50 ships from 7 different species floated in formation. Each brought unique strengths. The Valerian vessels were heavily armored. The Arcturian ships carried advanced healing technology. At the center of the fleet, the human vessels held the key to victory. The shield disruptors. Kate Murphy addressed the coalition commanders from the EDF command center beneath the Pacific. The hegemony believes they face only Earth, she explained. They expect to find our remaining ships hiding near Neptune. Their fleet will arrive in formation, weapons ready but shields at minimum power to conserve energy. War Chief Kraz of the Valerians growled his approval. Overconfidence will be their downfall. Our only advantage is surprise, Kate continued. Once lost, we cannot regain it. Captain Ryan Carter, back in command of the repaired Defiant, studied the battle plan. The timing must be perfect. Which is why we've developed this, said Alan Freeman, holding up a small device. The quantum communicator allows instant messaging across any distance without detection. The hegemony won't know we're coordinating attacks until it's too late. As the coalition prepared, Vexlar provided the final piece of intelligence. Supreme Commander Kelthraz's flagship will be at the center of their formation. The defector explained. It controls the entire battle network. Disable it, and their coordination will collapse. Earth scientists worked through the night, installing the new communication systems on all coalition ships. The plan required each vessel to jump to precise coordinates at the exact same moment, something previously thought impossible. The Hegemony Grand Fleet arrived at the edge of the solar system in a display of overwhelming force. Over 200 warships in perfect formation, led by the massive dreadnought of Supreme Commander Kelthraz. The EDF Defiant moved silently through unfamiliar star systems. Major Sam Collins stood on the bridge beside Captain Ryan Carter. Using coordinates provided by Vexlar, they had traveled far beyond Earth's solar system. "We're approaching Nerodia," Ryan announced. Their homeworld should appear on sensors soon. The Nerodians were known throughout the galaxy for their advanced technology. Yet they had accepted hegemony rule without resistance centuries ago. According to Vexlar, they were brilliant but deeply pacifistic. "There it is," Lisa Vega said, pointing to the view screen. Nerodia was a gleaming blue-green world with 3 moons. Sprawling cities covered much of its surface. The Defiant was immediately hailed as they entered the system. "Unidentified vessel, state your purpose," came a musical voice. "This is Major Sam Collins of Earth. We seek an audience with your leaders on a matter of mutual interest against the hegemony." A long pause followed. Finally, "Permission granted. Follow the beacon to our capital city." On the planet's surface, they were led to a vast dome of shimmering material. Inside, the Nerodian High Council waited. Tall, slender beings with 4 arms and iridescent skin regarded the humans with large, curious eyes. "Earth was recently granted protected status," said the lead counselor. "Why do you oppose the hegemony's guidance?" Sam stepped forward. "The hegemony doesn't guide worlds. It subjugates them. We've seen their true opinions of us, as pets to be controlled." He played the leaked video from Earth. The Nerodians watched in silence. "This surprises us little," admitted the counselor after it ended. "Yet violence is not our way. We cannot help you." "The hegemony leaves you alone because you pose no threat," Sam argued. "Earth fought back, and now they plan to make an example of us. If they succeed, your world could be next." "We will consider your words," the counselor said, "but do not expect our assistance." Disappointed, the Earth delegation returned to their ship. Their next destination was Valeria, home to a warrior species conquered long ago. Unlike the gleaming cities of Nerodia, Valeria was a harsh desert world. Its people lived in fortress-like settlements, their once proud civilization reduced to subsistence under hegemony rule. The Valerians were reptilian humanoids with tough, scaled skin and impressive physical strength. Their leader, War Chief Kraz, greeted the humans with suspicion. "Why should we believe humans fight the hegemony? No species has successfully challenged them in 1,000 years." Ryan played the footage of the Mars battle. Kraz's eyes widened as he watched human ships destroy hegemony vessels. "You have drawn blood from our oppressors," he said, newfound respect in his voice. "The Valerian fleet was dismantled after our defeat, but many pilots and warriors remain. We will join your fight." Word spread quickly. As the Defiant continued its diplomatic mission, more species pledged support. The Arcturians offered advanced medical technology. The Zenturi promised resource shipments. Within weeks, 7 species had joined what Sam Collins named the Coalition of Free Worlds. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Kate Murphy worked tirelessly. Dr. Olivia Johnson had made the breakthrough they needed. "The shield disruptor is ready," Olivia announced, pointing to the device on her lab table. "It exploits the quantum frequency vulnerability we discovered in hegemony shield systems. Will it work on their larger vessels?" Kate asked. "In theory, it should work on any hegemony ship," Their shield architecture is standardized across their fleet. Kate allowed herself a small smile. Begin production immediately. Every Earth ship needs one. Their planning was interrupted when Vexlar arrived with urgent news. The Hegemony Grand Fleet has begun mobilizing. The alien defector reported. Supreme Commander Kelthraz himself leads it. How many ships? Kate asked, feeling a chill. Over 200. They call it the final solution to the human problem. Kate's expression hardened. Then we need to be ready with our answer. As she studied tactical displays, a message arrived from the Defiant. Major Collins had succeeded beyond expectations. The Coalition fleet was assembling near Jupiter, hidden from hegemony sensors. We'll only get one chance at this, Kate told her staff. Operation Checkmate must be perfect. Across the solar system, human and alien engineers worked side by side, preparing for the greatest battle the galaxy had ever seen. Earth's fate, and perhaps the fate of all oppressed species, would soon be decided. News of the Mars victory spread across Earth like wildfire. People celebrated in the streets. For the first time since the hegemony arrived, humans felt hope. But Kate Murphy knew better than to celebrate too soon. They're coming, she told the emergency council meeting. And they won't underestimate us again. Satellite data confirmed her fears. A large hegemony battle group had entered the solar system. 30 warships, each larger than anything in Earth's small fleet. Evacuate all critical personnel to underground facilities, ordered Admiral Martinez. Civilian shelters must be prepared. Kate turned to Dr. Olivia Johnson. What's the status of Operation Phantom? The physicist smiled, despite the grim situation. The stealth technology is ready. We've improved it based on data from the Mars outpost. And the shield disruptor? Kate asked. It works in theory, Olivia replied. But we need more testing. We don't have time for testing, Kate said. Loaded onto all ships. Captain Ryan Carter and the Earth fleet waited in high orbit. They had barely returned from Mars before being called to defend Earth. Hegemony fleet will reach our position in 20 minutes, Lisa Vega reported. Ryan studied the tactical display. They've spread out to prevent another surprise attack. They've learned. Engage Operation Phantom on your mark, Captain, came Kate's voice over the secure channel. All ships, activate stealth systems, Ryan ordered. The 6 Earth vessels shimmered and faded from normal vision as their hulls bent light around them. On the hegemony sensors, they simply disappeared. Move to position Alpha, Ryan commanded. Prepare for hit-and-run tactics. The Earth ships spread out, using their superior speed to outmaneuver the alien fleet. The plan was simple. Strike quickly, then vanish before the hegemony could respond. The battle began as the EDF Defiant fired on the nearest hegemony cruiser. Its weapons struck the alien ship's engines, causing a chain of explosions along its hull. Before the hegemony could pinpoint their location, the Defiant was gone, moving to a new attack position. The other Earth ships followed suit, each targeting a different enemy vessel. For a time, the strategy worked perfectly. 5 hegemony ships were crippled in the opening minutes. But Commander Zulvas was clever. They are using some form of stealth technology, he told his officers. Flood all sectors with sensor pulses. Don't try to target them directly. Create a net they cannot escape. The hegemony ships began firing blindly, filling space with energy weapons. It was inefficient but effective. The EDF Liberty was hit, its stealth systems failing. Liberty is taking heavy damage, came the panicked call. Lieutenant Diane Rivera, commanding the Liberty, made a quick decision. All power to engines. We'll draw their fire away from the fleet. The damaged Earth ship burst forward, directly toward the center of the hegemony formation, its weapons firing at maximum capacity. Lieutenant Rivera, what are you doing? Ryan demanded over the comm. Buying you time, Captain, came the calm reply. Make it count. The Liberty plowed into the lead hegemony vessel, detonating its core in a brilliant explosion that took out 3 enemy ships. Kate watched in horror from the command center. "We've lost the Liberty," she whispered. The remaining Earth ships continued to fight, but they were outnumbered. The EDF Courage took heavy damage. The Defiant's port weapons array was destroyed. "We can't win this battle," Ryan said grimly. "Too many ships." Kate made the hardest call of her career. "All vessels, retreat to the outer system. Fall back to Neptune's orbit." As the battered Earth fleet disengaged, Commander Zulvas chose not to pursue. His own forces had suffered unexpected losses. "Let them run," he told his officers. "We will crush them properly once reinforcements arrive." Back at Project Ascendant, Kate stared at the casualty reports. The Liberty's crew, all lost. Hundreds of injured on the other ships. "We need a new strategy," she told her team. "Something they won't expect, something that requires perfect timing." Major Collins nodded grimly. "What do you have in mind?" Kate pulled up a star chart. "We need allies. Other species who have suffered under hegemony rule." "You want to leave the system?" Collins asked, shocked. "Not me," Kate replied. "You. Take the Defiant. Find the Nerodians and the Valerians. We'll need their help for what comes next." As Earth prepared for the next hegemony assault, Kate knew everything would depend on what happened in the coming days. Humanity's first victory had surprised the galaxy. Their next would need to shatter it. The 6 ships of Earth's secret fleet rose silently from the lunar surface. Their hulls gleamed under the distant sunlight as they moved into formation. Captain Ryan Carter sat in the command chair of the EDF Defiant, his heart racing despite years of training. "All systems operational," reported his second-in-command, Lisa Vega. "The other ships are in position." Ryan nodded. "Set course for Mars. Keep our speed below hegemony detection thresholds until we're past Earth orbit." The fleet accelerated slowly, careful to avoid the alien sensors. The hegemony ships orbiting Earth remained unaware, their attention focused on the planet below. In the command center beneath the Pacific, Kate Murphy watched the fleet's progress on secure displays. Major Collins stood beside her, tension evident in his posture. "The Defiant is performing even better than we expected," Collins said, studying the data. "Let's hope it's enough," Kate replied. The journey to Mars took only hours with the new engines. As they approached the red planet, Ryan ordered the fleet to full stop just beyond sensor range of the hegemony outpost. "Battle stations," he commanded. The crew moved with practiced efficiency. "Remember the plan," Ryan said over the fleet-wide channel. "Hit hard and fast. They don't expect resistance, especially not here." The Mars outpost was a small hegemony base with 3 ships docked. It served as a forward monitoring station, watching Earth from a safe distance. Its commander, a mid-level hegemony officer named Dreltox, had never seen combat. "Engage quantum drives," Ryan ordered. "Execute jump on my mark." Mark. In an instant, all 6 Earth ships vanished, only to reappear surrounding the Mars outpost. The Defiant took position directly above the base. "They're scrambling," reported the sensor officer. "Their shields are still powering up." "Fire main weapons," Ryan ordered. Beams of concentrated energy lanced from the Earth ships, striking the unprepared hegemony vessels. 2 alien ships erupted in flames before they could raise shields. The third managed partial defenses, but listed badly as the EDF Liberty hammered it with repeated strikes. "The base is hailing us," Lisa said, surprise in her voice. "On screen," Ryan replied. The face of Commander Dreltox appeared, his blue skin pale with shock. "This is impossible. You cannot have this technology. This is Captain Ryan Carter of the Earth Defense Force. Surrender your base immediately." "Humans do not command the hegemony," Dreltox sputtered. "You will all be executed for this." Ryan smiled coldly. "Look around you, Commander. Your ships are destroyed. Your base is surrounded. Those are human vessels that just defeated your superior technology." Back on Earth, Kate watched the exchange with grim satisfaction. "Broadcast this on all hegemony frequencies," she ordered. "Make sure the entire galaxy sees it. On Mars, the outpost weapons tried to target the Earth ships, but the human vessels moved too quickly, exploiting the blind spot in hegemony tracking systems. "Their targeting systems can't lock on us," Lisa reported with a smile. Ryan nodded. "Target their main power core. Prepare boarding teams." The Earth ships fired in perfect coordination. The outpost's shields flickered and failed. Within minutes, the base was crippled. "We surrender," Dreltox finally said, his arrogance replaced by fear. Earth Marines boarded the station, securing it quickly. They downloaded all data from the hegemony computers, gathering intelligence that would prove invaluable. The entire battle lasted less than 30 minutes. When news reached the Galactic Council, panic erupted. The Volux representative pounded the table. "Impossible. These primitives cannot have defeated a hegemony base." Yet the evidence was undeniable. The battle footage, broadcast on all frequencies, showed human ships outmaneuvering and outfighting their alien counterparts. In his flagship orbiting Earth, Commander Zulvas received the news with cold fury. "Prepare the battle group," he ordered. "No mercy for these upstart humans." Back at Project Ascendant, Kate addressed the Earth's leaders via secure channel. "This is just the beginning," she warned. "The hegemony will respond with everything they have. But now, they know we're not helpless. We're not pets to be controlled." Admiral Martinez nodded. "The fleet performed beyond expectations. Humanity has shown the galaxy what we're capable of." As the Earth ships returned from Mars, Captain Ryan Carter looked out at the stars. For the first time in human history, they were not just distant lights but a battlefield where humanity had claimed its first victory. The hegemony's cultural exchange delegation arrived with much fanfare. News channels worldwide covered their visit to major cities. The aliens brought gifts of art and music, displaying them in grand exhibitions. They spoke of friendship and mutual growth. Behind the scenes, Kate Murphy watched with growing concern. Something felt wrong about this sudden push for cultural connection. "They're putting on a show," she told Admiral Simmons during their secure weekly call. "But why?" Her answer came 3 days later. A junior officer named Steve Baker rushed into her office at Project Ascendant. "Ma'am, you need to see this," he said, placing a tablet on her desk. The video showed 3 hegemony officials at a private party in their New York embassy. They didn't know they were being recorded by a waiter's hidden camera. "These humans are amusing," said one alien, his translator inactive as he spoke in his native tongue. The subtitles came from Vexelar's translation program. "They think we see them as equals." Another alien laughed. "They're clever pets at best, useful for simple labor once properly trained." "The council debated whether to sterilize this planet and start fresh," said the third. "Too much trouble. But their water resources alone make this conquest worthwhile." Kate felt ice in her veins. "Who else has seen this?" "It leaked online an hour ago," Steve replied. "It's spreading fast." Within days, protests erupted outside hegemony embassies worldwide. Humans demanded answers. The aliens dismissed the video as doctored propaganda and a misunderstanding. The hegemony's response came swiftly. A fleet of 20 ships appeared in Earth orbit without warning. Their message was broadcast globally. "For your protection during this time of unrest, the hegemony is establishing a peacekeeping presence. This is standard protocol for protected worlds experiencing civil disorder." World leaders gathered for an emergency session. Some wanted immediate surrender. Others called for resistance. Admiral Gregory Martinez, chairman of the Joint Chiefs, stood firm. "We will not surrender Earth's sovereignty to alien rule." "But their weapons could destroy our cities in minutes," argued the French president. Kate, invited to the secure meeting, spoke up. "We have options they don't know about." She revealed Project Ascendant to the shocked assembly. The prototype fleet, the technological breakthroughs, the plan to strike first. "This is madness," said the German chancellor. "We cannot win a war against the galaxy." "We don't need to win the galaxy," Kate replied. "We just need to prove we're not pets to be controlled." After hours of debate, the UN Security Council narrowly approved Kate's plan. They would need to move quickly. At the lunar shipyards hidden on the far side of the moon, the final touches were added to 6 prototype ships. The EDF Defiant, the largest, gleamed under the work lights. 5 smaller vessels flanked it, each armed with weapons based on hegemony technology, but improved by human ingenuity. Captain Ryan Carter, selected to command the Defiant, met with Kate in the lunar base. "The crew is ready," he said, "but we've never tested these ships in actual combat. The hegemony doesn't believe humans can operate their technology effectively," Kate replied. "That's our advantage. And if we fail?" Kate looked through the viewport at Earth hanging in the blackness. "Then humanity learns to live on its knees." The hegemony commander, Zolvaz, began landing troops in remote areas, establishing ground bases without permission. His message to Earth governments was clear: resistance was futile. What he didn't know was that the Earth Defense Fleet was about to launch. Kate returned to Project Descendant to coordinate from the command center. The screens showed the hegemony ships in high orbit, their positions fixed as they monitored Earth. "They're not even in defensive formation," noted Major Collins. "They don't consider us a threat." "That's about to change," Kate said. She picked up the secure line to the lunar base. "Captain Carter, you are cleared to launch. Operation First Strike is a go." In the hidden lunar hangar, engines powered up as humanity prepared to show the galaxy they would not be mocked. 5 years passed since the aliens first landed on Earth. On the surface, little had changed. The hegemony maintained a small embassy in each major nation, but otherwise kept their distance. They called it minimal interference. Kate Murphy knew better. They were watching, waiting for humans to prove their expectations correct. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, Project Ascendant hummed with activity. The underwater base stretched for nearly a mile, hidden from prying eyes and alien sensors by a combination of Earth's ocean and technology gleaned from Vexillar's data. Kate walked through the main engineering lab where Alan Freeman worked on a disassembled alien device. At 40, with permanent grease stains on his hands, Alan had a gift for understanding how things worked. "Any progress?" Kate asked. Alan grinned and wiped his brow. "Their power systems are amazing, but not magic. I've figured out how to copy their energy cells at about 60% efficiency." "That's better than last month," Kate said. "Dr. Johnson is the one making real breakthroughs," Alan replied, pointing across the lab. Dr. Olivia Johnson stood before a holographic display, her gray-streaked hair pulled back in a tight bun. At 58, she was the leading physicist on the project, having abandoned a prestigious university position to join Ascendant. "The hegemony ships use quantum folding for propulsion," Olivia explained when Kate approached. "They create a pocket of folded space and essentially fall into it. But their design assumes a certain limit to processing speed." "And?" Kate prompted. "And they're wrong." Olivia smiled. "Human neural networks can process the calculations faster if designed correctly. We can improve their design by 30%. Major Sam Collins joined them, his military uniform crisp despite the long hours. "Tactical applications. Their ships can't track what moves faster than their sensors expect," Olivia said. "They have a blind spot they don't know exists." Kate felt a surge of hope. This was exactly what they needed. That evening, in her sparse quarters, Kate reviewed the progress reports. The first prototype ship was nearly ready for testing. Hidden in the asteroid belt, Earth's secret shipyard had been working day and night. Her secure terminal beeped with an incoming message from Admiral Simmons. "Hegemony Ambassador requesting special meeting with UN tomorrow. Unknown agenda." Kate slept poorly that night. The next day, she watched the broadcast from the UN. Zelthor stood before the assembly, looking even more arrogant than 5 years ago. "The Galactic Council has reviewed Earth's progress," he announced. "We are pleased to begin the next phase of your development. Hegemony experts will establish educational centers on your planet to help accelerate your technological and social advancement." The UN Secretary General looked uncomfortable. What exactly would these centers do? Guide your species toward proper galactic citizenship, of course. We will need to establish larger facilities. Bring more hegemony personnel to Earth. Kate recognized the strategy. Colonization disguised as aid. Back at Project Ascendant, an emergency meeting was called. Major Collins slammed his fist on the table. They're moving faster than we expected. We need more time. Time is something we don't have, Kate replied. How soon can the prototype be ready? Ellen glanced at Olivia before answering. The EDF Defiant can launch in 3 weeks at the earliest. Weapons systems are untested. Make it 2 weeks, Kate ordered. And I want daily updates on the other 5 ships. Later, Kate met with Vexlar in a secure room. The alien defector had provided invaluable information over the years. Your assessment was correct, Vexlar confirmed. This is the beginning of true occupation. The educational centers will establish permanent hegemony control. How long do we have? Their main fleet is gathering. Perhaps 1 month before they arrive to protect Earth. Kate nodded grimly. Then we strike first. We hit their Mars outpost as soon as the Defiant is ready. Vexlar's alien features formed what Kate had learned was concern. The outpost has minimal defenses, but attacking it will bring the full might of the hegemony down on Earth. We're counting on it, Kate said. They need to see what humans are truly capable of. As she left the meeting, Kate received word that the UN had agreed to the hegemony's proposal. Earth was running out of time. The massive alien ship descended through Earth's atmosphere, causing a stir among the gathered crowd. News crews jostled for position outside the United Nations building in Geneva. This was humanity's first official contact with extraterrestrial life. Military personnel formed a tight perimeter as world leaders waited nervously inside. Lieutenant Commander Kate Murphy stood at attention near the back wall of the Grand Assembly Hall. At 34, she had risen quickly through naval ranks, due to her brilliant strategic mind. Today, she represented the United States Naval Intelligence at this historic meeting. The alien delegation entered with an air of superiority. Their leader, Excelthor, stood nearly 7 feet tall with pale blue skin that seemed to shimmer under the lights. He moved with a fluid grace that made humans look clumsy by comparison. People of Earth, Excelthor began, his voice translated through a small device on his chest. The galactic hegemony welcomes you to the community of intelligent species. The words seemed friendly, but Kate noticed the slight curl of his lip. She had interrogated enough prisoners to recognize condescension. We have observed your civilization for decades. Excelthor continued. While your technological achievements are quaint, your biological limitations and lack of psychic abilities place you at a disadvantage. Murmurs spread through the assembly. The UN Secretary General leaned forward. What exactly are you proposing, Ambassador? Excelthor smiled. The hegemony offers humanity protected species status. We will establish embassies on your world, guide your development, and ensure no harm comes to Earth. And if we decline? Asked the Chinese representative. That would be unwise, Excelthor replied. The galaxy is filled with dangers your primitive weapons cannot handle. Without our protection, Earth would be vulnerable. Kate clenched her jaw. The threat was thinly veiled. After the meeting, world leaders gathered in a secure room. Kate was invited due to her expertise in threat assessment. They're offering us a reservation, Kate said bluntly. We'd be glorified pets. But their technology is centuries beyond ours. The British Prime Minister argued. We've all seen the scans of their ship. We have no defense against such power. Then we build one, Kate replied. Later that evening, Kate met with Admiral Eric Simmons at a small diner outside Washington, D.C. At 60. Simmons was a decorated veteran with significant influence in military circles. They think we're stupid, Kate said, pushing her coffee aside. But that's their weakness. They've underestimated us. Simmons nodded slowly. What do you propose? a secret initiative. We take what we can learn from their technology and develop countermeasures. We prepare while pretending to submit. That would require significant resources, hidden from public view, and alien sensors, Simmons said. The facility under Mount Weather could work, or we build something new beneath the Pacific. Simmons studied her face. I'll need a name for the budget line. Call it Project Ascendant, Kate said, because that's what humanity will become. 3 days later, Kate received a strange message on her secure terminal. It directed her to an abandoned warehouse in Baltimore. Against protocol, she went alone, weapon concealed under her jacket. Inside, she found a hooded figure waiting. When it lowered its hood, Kate gasped. The alien had the same blue skin as HFY, but with intricate markings across its face. I am Vexlar, the alien said in perfect English, a scientist who disagrees with the hegemony's treatment of emerging species. Why contact me? Kate asked, hand near her concealed weapon. Because you saw through the deception immediately. Most species accept protected status out of fear. Vexlar stepped closer. The hegemony has ruled for 10,000 years by keeping lesser species dependent. They fear true competition. What do you want? To help. The hegemony has weaknesses, flaws in their technology, blind spots in their strategy. Vexlar extended a data device. This contains technical specifications that could help level the field. Kate hesitated, then took the device. Why betray your people? Because progress comes from diversity and challenge, not domination. Vexlar moved toward the exit. They mock humanity now, but I suspect they've made a grave miscalculation. After Vexlar left, Kate stared at the alien device. Project Ascendant had just received its first advantage in a game where Earth was never meant to win.